Thanks for joining us on another special edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line. I'm Tony Carvajal, the Executive Vice President of the Florida Chamber Foundation, and I'm here joined today with Dr. Ed Moore with the Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida. Ed Moore serves as a trustee, and Ed, you've been a longtime thought leader in Florida on education and a friend, so thanks for joining us here today.
Good to be here.
I think we've talked a little bit about what schools are doing to prepare students, what students are going to be facing into the future workforce. Let's talk about the connection between the business community and the schools. On our last segment, you were talking about how businesses should reach out to the schools. What are the messages that each of them have to be exchanging? Because I hear a lot of times that business leaders are complaining that students aren't prepared. Schools are saying that students are getting everything they need. How do we bridge that gap?
Yeah, part of it is measuring the student performance. One of the things that we do a lot of institutional measurement, institutional performance, how many people are graduating. We don't take it down to the personal. What we need to figure out is how to graduate, when we graduate students, that we graduate a better quality student. The irony in the legislative session this year is the Florida college system are arguing about we need more money for remediation. I think policymakers need to look at why do we have to remediate so many people coming out of high school that aren't prepared to do college. Business needs to talk to us and the Florida college system, the state universities, about what their needs really are. What are we missing? And getting that communication line working. Is it that you want what we call soft skills, that you want people to be able to read and write and talk and give speeches and do PowerPoints? Is that missing? Or is it the technical, more focused skills? Some employers tell us, no, we'll train that. You just give me somebody that can learn, and we'll teach them what they need to know for the job. And others say, no, we want them to come fully prepared. So we're going to have to end up doing some modified programs, some sort of custom programs for certain business and industries. Internships and externships, I think, fill part of that gap. You go down to the Space Coast and in that area where Florida Institute of Technology is, tremendous relations with Northrop Grumman and Lockheed and businesses that are in the area, because we have professors on the business campus, we have students on the business campus, and a big interaction between the two. It's all about communication and understanding what the needs are of the other sector.
So the businesses have to come to the schools, and the schools have to come to the businesses, and there needs to be an understanding. I got that. Great advice there for how we can build our communities. I have a different question, though. So we're actually doing pretty good at preparing students. Florida graduates at all institutions are ready to perform. We're doing what we can for students as they're coming out of K-12 and transitioning them to the career or college, wherever they need to go. But we got 10 million people in Florida's workforce right now, and they're going to be impacted by the same disruption that these students are going to be impacted. How do we bridge that gap? I know you're on the Career Source Florida board. You've talked about a lot of different innovations and stuff. How do we prepare all Floridians for the future?
It gets down to information again, people understanding what's available to them out there and getting that word out that there are opportunities in the classroom, there are online programs. We have, like I said, I have 30 institutions, 125 sites around Florida where coursework and programs are offered. There's higher education available to you. We've got 28 community colleges in Florida, 12 state universities, many of whom have branch campuses. If you want to expand what your capabilities are, you want to build your toolbox, there's an avenue for you to do it. And somehow we just got to keep getting that word out that it's not impossible. You can maintain a job and manage your family and do all those and still advance your skills.
Florida provides a lot of opportunities for that. You're a thought leader for us on the Florida 2030 project. You understand education, you understand our economy, you understand where we're going on all this. What advice would you give to the people who are working on the Florida 2030 project right now?
Think big, think globally. I hate to use the phrase out of the box, but Florida, I think a good measurement for us would be to take a snapshot of where we are today and what technologies there are and those things, and then go back 20 years and what was here then. How different is that? Well, the difference between now and 20 years from now, or even 15 years from now, is double the changes that we've seen, and that's where we're going to be. The view of what classrooms are, how learning is going to take place, what the technology is available to us, going to be completely different. There'll be things in place that we can't even envision now, but we have to be ready for them and just be on the move, always be on the move. It's the thinking bigger and globally, and don't just think about Florida. Florida is one little part of the world. we can be the epicenter of the world for trade and the economy, particularly in the Western Hemisphere. But people are coming here from all over their other countries. We're sending people around the globe. Our goods are going to be shipped everywhere, and our goods are coming in here. We've got to think bigger than our own local community or our region or our state.
Think big. I think that's great advice for those of us working on the Florida 2030 project. Thank you so much for spending time with us talking about the workforce, the talent pipeline, schools, what businesses can do, and the Florida 2030 project. I'm looking forward to working with each of you on the initiative. And for another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line, let me sign out now. Thank you so much, Ed Moore, for joining us.